Of the legendary Johnny Genesis North, we are releasing a must-have collection of Johnny North merchandise in our store at merch.ringsidereport.net, starting with our limited edition Johnny Genesis North 3/4 sleeve t-shirt. With a unique design capturing Johnny in action, this tee exudes raw energy and intensity through its versatile 3/4 sleeves for any weather. Stand with our legendary co-host, Johnny North. Make a bold statement in the wrestling community by getting yours today, exclusively at merch.ringsidereport.net.
The discipline of jiu-jitsu, the elegance of a perfect pour. Introducing the jiu-jitsu-inspired shaker pint glass. Crafted for the martial artist in you. 16 ounces of pure elegance, perfect for post-training refreshment or a sophisticated cocktail evening. Durable, stylish, versatile. Not just a glass, but a testament to your dedication. Celebrate your passion with every sip. The Jiu-Jitsu Shaker Pint Glass. Cheers to mastery. Available now in our store. Go to merch.ringsidereport.net and get yours now.
Strength in every sip.
Here's a programming note from the Ringside Report Network. Every Friday, join Dave Simon along with pro wrestler Johnny Genesis North as they break down the week that was pro wrestling on Wrestling Uncensored. Join them live starting after WWE SmackDown and during AEW Rampage at 10 p.m. Eastern, right here, or as an audio podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to share this broadcast and review our podcasts on Apple Podcasts. It really helps us out. Why not become a member of the Ringside Report universe? Go right now before the show starts to membership.ringsidereport.net. That's membership.ringsidereport.net.
Each and every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, dive deep into the heart of MMA with Ringside Report MMA. Join seasoned analysts Dave Simon, Fred Garcia, and my good friend AJ D'Alexio as they dissect every fight, analyze strategies, and reveal their top betting predictions. From main events to prelims, our trio deep dives into the strengths, weaknesses, and potential game changers for each fighter. Looking to place a bet? Benefit from the expertise of our analysts and get an edge over the competition. Discover lesser-known facts, training camp secrets, and behind-the-scenes tidbits that only our seasoned crew can deliver. Share your fight predictions and be featured in the broadcast. For both new fans and longtime MMA aficionados, Ringside Report MMA is the key to unlocking a richer UFC viewing experience. Become an MMA insider. Don't miss out on our exclusive content. Subscribe now and ensure you ring that bell for timely notifications.
Before we dive into today's action-packed broadcast, check out ringsidereport.net. Explore a wide range of exclusive articles and commentary that are specifically designed for the fans of pro wrestling and MMA. Did you miss a broadcast? No worries. We've expanded them all on our website. And don't forget to hit our store for exclusive merch and other must-have items, ringsidereport.net, where the real action is.
We've got boosted odds coming. Dave's picks, which means I'm going to give you picks, and on the site, it'll say, like, you know, minus 200 or something, but then I'll call my buddies at Bet99. I'll be like, hey, could we give it a little better? And it'll be like minus 150, so there'll be more value.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to add value to the picks. We're going to get boosted odds at Bet99 for the Ringside Report universe. For all the viewers, we're going to give you picks, and then we're going to be like, you know, there's a number here on this at Bet99, but maybe wait till Saturday morning, and there'll be a better number because we're going to give you those boosted odds. They're a sponsor, and I want them to do well, and they're helping the show and all of that, but at the same time, I want to give good picks and take them for everything they got, baby. But they got.
Well, that's what it comes down to.
You know what I mean?
Listen,
it's a weird relationship because I'm friendly with them and I want to do well and I want them to do well, but I also want us to do well, and for us to do well, we need to take money from them, which is part of the whole. It's part of the game, and they like it, and it's all fun. So we're gonna get some boosted odds, and we'll see how much we can boost them for the viewers, so we can make a lot of cash. It's the Ringside Report MMA UFC 299 preview show. Let's go!
Let's go!
Yeah, let's do it. The guys are here, the whole crew. We got a big pay-per-view this weekend. Some good fights in Miami this weekend from the UFC. The Sugar Show rolling into town. Sean O'Malley looking to get his revenge on Marlon the Cheeto Vera. A solid co-main event. The diamond-dusted Poirier taking on BSD Benoit Saint-Denis. Kevin Holland taking on the debuting MVP Michael Venom Page. Gilbert Durinho Burns faces the up-and-coming welterweight Jack Della Maddalena, and the former bantamweight champion opening up the pay-per-view, Piotr Yan, taking on Song Yadong in a big-time bantamweight fight. Guys, it's UFC 300 season. That's how I feel. I feel like we're in the season of UFC 300. We're in the season of big UFC pay-per-views, and we are heating up in a major way with this card. UFC 300 looks fantastic, and this feels like a great meal that you're having right before a tremendous dessert. And the meal is going to be real good coming up on Saturday night, and I'm looking forward to it. You can tell I'm hyped. I'm running down the card right off the bat because I'm hyped, guys. I'm hyped. AJ, I know you're hyped. Fred, AJ's always hyped. AJ's hyped for, like, last week's card, you know, Rosenstrike and Garcia. He was hyped for that. But, Fred, you know, tell me your level of hype for this because I'm pretty high. I'm a pretty excited guy when it comes to this pay-per-view because we got no filler. It's all good. Like, we start the night at 10 o'clock, and we're off and running with big fights. I like it.
I mean, the pay-per-view is excellent, and there's no complaint from me. I mean, it took me a little time, but I'm on the Sean O'Malley. I wouldn't say bandwagon, but I'm interested in his fights, and when he fights, I want to watch. So that's a good main event. And Dustin Poirier, man, fight. Look, man, I'll give some props to Dustin Poirier, man. He's fighting an up-and-comer that, like, if he beats Benoit Saint-Denis, everybody's going to say, well, yeah, Dustin Poirier was supposed to beat him. And if he loses, well, Benoit Saint-Denis is going to make his name off of it. So that's a great co-main event. Michael Page finally coming to the UFC. Kevin Holland's the perfect opponent for him. So, yeah, this is a great card, man. Gilbert Burns, Jack Della Maddalena. That's a tough one, man, but I'm leaning. I'll keep my choice for later on. But yeah, great card, man.
Oof. And we're doing a watch.
It's a hard card, man.
We got a watch along coming up Saturday night. AJ, you're coming over here. Yep. We're gonna watch the fight Saturday night. Fred's gonna be at his studio. We're gonna be rocking it on Saturday night on the Ringside Report Network. I know you're hyped for that.
Fun. Listen, man, it's a great setup for 300, no doubt about it, man. And you said it well, man. This is like a great meal before that great dessert. And you can't get any better. There's no other sport that can put out like literally like a Super Bowl like kind of action, man. From the prelims to the main card, man. You named off guys that were champions, like close to being champions, killers. This is only $299. 300 is going to be insane. But we're looking at MVP, man, who's here in the UFC finally. People haven't seen MVP, man. Okay, he's a little bit older now, but damn. That's one heck of a fight against Kevin Holland. You know it's going to be a fireworks fight. They literally look like the same style. It's going to be insane, man. And it's like I said earlier, it's going to be hard to bet. Like, I have my choices on who I think is going to win, but it's not going to be an easy win on Saturday night. You got Gilbert Burns against Maddalena. Maddalena is like insane. 27 years old. I couldn't believe that Burns is 38 years old now? Man, time flies.
Yeah.
You know? You know what I'm saying? It's insane, man. It's a hard card to bet on, but I got my picks, and we'll see what happens on Saturday.
He's 37, Gilbert Burns. Take it easy.
37, man. Still, 10-year difference, man, in MMA is like 50 years at times,
Yeah.
Especially with Gilbert Burns, man. He's had some barn burners, man, that have been like crazy. But it's going to be interesting. I mean, I know where I'm going on that fight, which is going to be hard for me to say, but you know,
Yeah, there's some
tough,
real
man.
interesting fights. You're right about that.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
tough to call. I think it's really
It's tough
to call. Every fight I go, it could go either way. I think pretty much every fight. I mean, even the main event where I feel pretty confident with Sean O'Malley, I feel like well, Cheeto did beat him. So there is that. It's like Cheeto did beat Sean O'Malley by TKO in the first round. He finished him in under 5 minutes. He's what? He's the only guy to beat O'Malley too, right? So Cheeto might be injured, that kryptonite. Maybe.
There's always that one kryptonite. You're absolutely right. In every sport, especially in MMA, man, we've seen some champs that just cannot beat this one guy. But I think this is a little bit different. In my opinion, he was coming off a sickness. He was injured, and he went into that fight.
Okay.
He wasn't the best Sean O'Malley going into that fight, with Cheeto.
But
it's going to be interesting Saturday night.
You look at Cheeto back then, okay, that was 2020. It's 4 years ago. He was 27 years old at that point. He's 31 years old in his prime right now, Cheeto Vera. He beat Sean O'Malley in the first round, and it wasn't like he was at his very best. He had just come off a decision loss to Song Yadong, and his very next fight after the win over Sean O'Malley was a decision loss to Jose Aldo that I think a lot of people thought he won, but it was a close fight. Nevertheless, since then, he's been more successful. He's gone 5-1 in his last, 5-1 in his last 6 fights.
Yeah, he's been on a cruise, man.
The one loss is a 5-round split decision win to one of the division's very best in Corey Sandhagen, who's also a monster, who's out there and is a looming threat for any champion at bantamweight, right? They give Corey Sandhagen a title fight. He could win. You know what I'm saying? Put Corey Sandhagen in there against Sean O'Malley or Marlon Vera. I think he might win.
They were saying about Vera that he's never been knocked down or knockout. He's never been knocked out, but he's never been knocked down also. Like, he's very tough. He's very durable. So, yeah, he's dangerous, and he's on a good streak. He could cause a surprise. I saw a couple of interviews where O'Malley, I don't think he's underestimating him. He's taking him very seriously. So I expect to see O'Malley at his best. And if we're going on the main event right away, like I'm going to pick O'Malley. Like, I feel confident O'Malley should win. Like I said, I'm on the O'Malley bandwagon. I'm not sure if I'm willing to say I'm a fan of his, like I said, but I want to see him fight, man. He's intriguing. Like, he brings a character. Love him, hate him. I just want to see him fight, and he's entertaining, man. His fights are for the most part very good. So it should be a good fight. I'm gonna go with O'Malley, probably by decision, because like if nobody's ever finished Vera, man, I don't think O'Malley's gonna be the guy to finish him.
Prior to the Aljamain Sterling fight, were we really that impressed with Sean O'Malley though? Because the fight before that, he fought Petr Yan. He won a split decision that pretty much everybody thought he lost.
Yeah, but I remember, I saw a way that the judge could give it to him. Like, I wasn't on that bandwagon of saying that Petr Yan got robbed. Like, it was a decent fight. And, but the Sterling fight for sure made his stardom, man. He put out a great performance, and he showed up when it counted, and you can't take that away from him, man. And the guy's a gamer. You see, the guy likes the attention, and he seems to rise at those moments. So, no, I like O'Malley. I'm a fan of his.
Yeah, I'm just not convinced because he beat Aljamain, and he looked great in beating Aljamain, but he got that fight at the right time. And I don't know. I think that they set that fight up for Aljamain to lose. That was Sean O'Malley's opportunity. And I feel like, he hasn't had like a year to wait for this fight like he did for the Aljamain fight. You know what I'm saying? Like he was waiting for Aljamain, and the UFC was letting him wait and train and get better and do all this stuff. Now he's the champion. Now he's got the target. It's one thing to win the belt. It's another thing to defend it. I'm not convinced that he's going to win. Like, I think, if I had to pick, I would go with O'Malley. But, man, every fight on this card I'm really torn with. Like, it's tough.
I mean, he fought against Sterling in August, and pretty much after that fight, everybody knew Vera was the fight that was coming up. So he's had time to prepare for Vera. Like, I think he's going to come. He's going to be at his best, man. But it's a great fight. Yeah, look, if Vera wins, like we said, he's on a good streak. He hasn't been finished ever, like KO'd ever. Like, Vera's a very legit threat to O'Malley. But again, I liked also the interviews of O'Malley where he seemed focused, man. He's not taking him lightly. He's not saying like, I'm going to beat you up, blah, blah, blah. No, he takes him very seriously. And that's how he should, man. O'Malley seems, even though he's a little wild and I'm not a fan of all the hair color and all that, guy seems to be smart still. He's not a dummy, man. He's got some sense to him.
Mm-hmm.
But he's very hittable, Fred. That's the problem. Like, if you look at, like, Vera, even with the first fight, again, O'Malley came into that fight. He was injured, man. It wasn't the best version of O'Malley going into that fight. And there's a lot of like pressure on him to win this fight because he has to show that he is the champ, and it was a fluke that he lost on their first encounter. But the truth is that Vera is very hittable. O'Malley didn't get a chance to prove it in that fight, but on Saturday night he will. But if you look at Vera's like stats in his last 7 fights, he stopped 2 guys. He stopped Cruz and he stopped Frankie Edgar. Now, you can look at that and say, holy smokes, he stopped those 2 guys. But let's be honest, those are not the guys at the top of their performance anymore. They're kind of like washed out, let's be honest. Like, it's over-the-hill guys. But he managed 2 stoppages, and he's never been stopped, like you said. So, look, it's not an easy fight per se. That's why O'Malley's taking it serious, because he knows this guy, he has everything behind him, that if he throws some power shots, he can knock you out. But let's not forget, it's O'Malley's time, man. It's Sugar's time. He's there for a reason.
Yeah. I think ultimately he will win. I think he'll win a decision. I think it'll be a close fight.
Yep.
And it'll be one of those fights that we see, that I feel like we're seeing more and more, where it's like, 2 rounds are Sugars, 2 rounds are Marlins, and then 1 round is like, I don't know. And then some guys will be like, Cheeto won, and some guys will be like, Sugar won, and then the judges will give it to O'Malley, either split or unanimous. Either way, O'Malley's going to walk away still champion, and it'll be a close fight. That's how I see it playing out. I think it'll be close. O'Malley will do just enough to retain the belt.
Sugar versus Cheetos.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good fight. How many of these fights are 5 rounds?
Oof.
Are they all 5 rounds? Like, what's going on here?
Oh, what do you mean? This is the only 5-round fight, no?
I thought Poirier and BSD was possibly a 5-round fight.
I don't think so.
I mean, they all could be technically. Listen, man, any one of these guys could be like like fight nights, or actually a UFC card in itself, not a pay-per-view. I mean, they like legitimately, they're all like main event guys. But
I think
I'm
the
not
other
sure
fights
about,
are 3
Dustin
rounds.
Poirier, I think, is 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sure. I heard him say, I heard Dustin say something about 5 rounds. I was like, 5 rounds? Your co-main event, dude. What are you talking about? But I feel like maybe they gave him a 5-round co-main. I can't.
It's gonna be tough, man, for 5 rounds. No offense to Dustin, man, one of my favorite fighters of all time, man. I've seen this guy coming off of like the scenes of Louisiana, building a career when nobody believed in him, and the guy's he's a UFC legend, like Freddie says. He's got to be there, probably before some of the other guys that was mentioned like a couple of weeks back. But man, Dustin Poirier, he deserves a 5-fight round. There's
That's
no
what
doubt
it is.
about it.
I just checked that, and I've confirmed it is a 5-round co-main.
There you go.
Co-main event is 5 rounds. Non-title fight, co-main event, 5 rounds for some reason. I mean, I
think that's
hate
great,
it.
man.
It's fine. Poirier is a championship level fighter. It's just odd. It's not something you see very much on UFC pay-per-views. A co-main event that's 5 rounds without a belt attached to it. It's like, what is that?
You better bring some KFC to the UFC, man.
Oh, I don't think
lots of
why
sugar.
not? I don't know if it's necessary. It's a rare occasion. Like, we'll see main events that are non-titles be 5 rounds, but or for co-main event, I mean, why not? It's going to be a late night because we're changing the time on Saturday, so it's already going to be a late night, man. So it's just going to be a little later.
Oh, that'll be fun. But I don't think we're going to see 5 rounds with BSD and Dustin Poirier. I think we're going to see a finish. I think it might even come within the first 15. And I think Benoit Saint-Denis is going to do it for himself and, of course, for La France. Yes.
Je pense vous êtes correct, David.
Yeah.
Simon.
I mean,
pense vous êtes correct.
Wait.
I mean, Saint-Denis is a big favorite, and he should be. He's the younger guy. He's probably got like the brighter future in front of him. But man, this is still Dustin Poirier, man. He's not gonna run through Dustin Poirier, man. Dustin Poirier is gonna give a good fight, man. This fight is easily going 3-4 rounds, and yeah, I'm gonna pick Saint-Denis to win, but he's not just gonna run over Dustin Poirier, man. Poirier is a veteran. He knows how to fight. Dustin Poirier has been in some dog fights already, and this is not the first tough matchup he sees in his career. So I'm confident Dustin Poirier is going to do pretty good still. But yeah, Benoit Saint-Denis is the logical choice. He's the young and up-and-comer. But I look at who he's defeated, and yeah, he's running through everybody, but who has he really defeated? Nobody to the level of a Dustin Poirier. So,
but that's why he's there, Freddie. That's why Poirier is there.
Yeah.
It's to get that name.
He earned it. Look, he's on a 5-fight winning streak, finishing all 5 fights. He definitely earned a shot to one of the top contenders. But let's wait for him to beat an actual top contender to really have that type of hype.
Yeah, this is a big jump.
I'm changing my pick, man. I got Dustin Poirier, man.
Ooh, it's not a bad pick. Like
it's not.
I don't hate it.
Listen, man, but BSD is the god of war, Freddie. Don't forget, man. And he could put you out at any moment, man.
That's
this guy
nickname,
is,
man.
I know, but still, man, like Poirier is no doubt about it. This guy comes out to fight, and it's always like his fights are always thrilling. There's no doubt about it. We're always on the edge of our seats. Look, like what he did to Connor. I mean, this guy has everything, but he's been out of the game for a little too long.
Can't break diamond.
He's been out of the game for a little too long, guys. And to be honest, I think this is his kind of like, in my opinion, he's coming back in now. He's got his hot sauce going. He's making good money. He's working with the community. I think this is going to be like, I don't know what the contract says, but I almost feel that this could be his last fight on Saturday night. I think, I'm going to find that hard to believe.
If he loses, I wouldn't be surprised if
Come
he
on,
hangs
guys.
them up.
Yeah.
In the past 3 years, the only guys that Dustin Poirier has beat is Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler, and those guys are basically retired. So let's get real. He's fighting in a different division. BSD is fighting in the I'm coming to kill you and be champion division. Dustin Poirier is fighting in the I'm a celebrity, get me out of here division. So there it is.
You know, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, he got KO head kicked by Justin Gaethje in 6 minutes in his last fight. 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Dustin Poirier.
That was hard.
I like Dustin Poirier. He seems like a lovely guy. He's a great fighter.
He is.
He's a legend.
Hey, man.
He'll go in the Hall of Fame before Clay Guida and Diego Sanchez.
Yes, exactly.
Okay?
I think you're right, man.
However, I think, at 35 years of age, Benoit Saint-Denis right now at 28, he's just the younger, hungrier fighter who's just on a win streak. And, Father Time, is undefeated. It's
Never
just
lies.
the way it is. It's the way it is. It's sad. I'm not sad about it, but I just think BSD is the new thing, and Poirier is on the way out of MMA at 35. It's when it starts to slip. And beating Conor McGregor, too. I mean, what is that? It's like not even a thing. Like, his biggest wins are over Conor McGregor in the past, like, 5 years. Like, who cares?
Yep.
Conor's fighting, by the way, guys.
Fun times, man.
The fight is happening.
The what?
June 29th. June 29th. Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler. Yeah. It's
is that official, man? Are you sure?
Conor said it, and then Chandler confirmed it.
Let's see what Della says.
They're both saying it's happening, that they're training, that it's happening. Conor said it in a video, and then Chandler was like, yeah, I'm training in 100 and something days, 114 days yesterday. It's going to be a special camp for me, da-da-da. I've never been away from competition this long in the last 22 years of hand-to-hand combat, laying a foundation down. I break him within 2 rounds, 114 days. So June 29th is how it lines up. McGregor, Chandler, I don't think it's official from the UFC, but I'm going to call it official from Ringside Report MMA. Boom, official.
There you go, man.
Chandler, McGregor, June 29th. June 29th. And it'll be, what? It's say April is 300, so May will be 301, and June will be 302. It'll either be 302 or maybe 303, depending on where they're at, but it'll be UFC 302 or UFC 303. UFC 303. It should be 303
Irish eyes are
for
smiling.
Conor McGregor. 303. You know how they say
I
3?
like that. When Irish eyes are smiling.
UFC 303. Come see me knock him out. You know?
With my proper 12. And my
Proper
forged.
12.
What's
Proper
a beer
12
called again?
Irish
Forged
whiskey.
what?
All right.
Black forged. That's it.
Connor and Chandler.
Come and have some of my black forged.
All right, so we're all going with BSD. No, Fred, you're going with Dustin Poirier. You're being a stickler.
Freddie's going with hot sauce.
Fred knows about being a tough old man, so he's, you know.
Hot sauce. Let me get to the washroom.
Fred knows 35 is not where you stop being dangerous. Kevin Holland, Fred's pretty dangerous himself, you know what I'm saying? But he's under 35, obviously. Kevin Holland and Michael Page, not AJ. AJ's over
it's going to be insane.
65. AJ, you're about 80 at this point.
Helio Gracie age.
Like, your age just keeps growing as the show gets longer, you know? It's just like, as the years go by, AJ gets older exponentially.
You have to take proper vitamins, man, and plenty of proper 12.
Kevin Holland, Michael Page. Kevin Holland minus 135, the favorite. Michael Page 115, the underdog. By the way, Fred, this card, I'm looking on Wikipedia. All these guys have Wikipedia pages on the main card. Every single guy.
Serious.
I know you
Serious
like that.
Stuff.
Come on.
I mean, that should be for every pay-per-view, man. You don't have a week, like, to be on the main card. Come on.
Yeah. If you don't have a Wikipedia page, they should just say, you're not allowed to be on the...
Plus, I think anybody could create a Wikipedia page. So just the UFC, put somebody fucking on that job.
Yeah, that should be somebody's job to make Wikipedia pages. If there's like an upcoming fight and you see a pay-per-view and there's a fighter without a Wikipedia page, you should have to write a thing and make a Wikipedia page for that fighter if you work for the UFC. Somebody should be doing that. That is true. I agree 100%. That should be standard. Because who, that follows the sport in any kind of way doesn't look up the UFC shows on Wikipedia? It's like a great tool. I'm always on Wikipedia looking at the fights. You're on it, right?
Yeah, and like, I don't do that for other sports. Like, let's say baseball. If you're looking at standings, where are you going? I'm going to ESPN or some site, I'm not going to. But for MMA, Wikipedia is the place to go.
Yeah. But when you don't have a Wikipedia page, where do you go, Fred? What do? Do you do SureDog or Tapology?
SureDog, usually.
I'm a Tapology man. I've converted. I used to be a SureDog guy.
He likes the tap.
But I went to Tapology. I like the way it's the interface a little better.
Hey, listen, did Shamil Gaziev actually have a Wikipedia page? I mean, he was on the main card.
Oh, he did.
And I don't even think
he didn't.
I don't think he had, Fred?
And he'll never get one because he lost. So he'll never get one.
He still doesn't have one.
Listen,
ruined our
he
parlay.
He didn't look good for Dagestan.
Ruined our parlay.
Just
ruined
quit,
Dagestan. He can't go back to Dagestan now after that loss. Like, they won't.
He can't go back to Dagestan.
If he goes
you don't
back,
give up.
bad
Dagestanians
things
don't
will
give
happen
up.
to him, man.
Damn. That was embarrassing.
It was
How do you face Khabib after that? Like,
Oof, you don't face Khabib. I mean, look, man, we were on a good run. We could have made some good money on that parlay, and he blew it. I mean, he could have fought the fifth, man. He didn't. I've seen guys that were more mangled than he ever was that went in and kept fighting. I mean, it just doesn't make sense, man. It just doesn't make sense.
Like, this is the first real look I had of him, and like, he's a fun oddity to watch wrestle, to watch fight, but he's not going anywhere. Like, let's be honest, man. This guy's never going to be in the top 10.
Nope.
I don't believe.
I think he's gone.
Maybe we'll see him again. I mean, he's a big guy. You could use him as a placeholder for you make him face a young guy that's new to the UFC or something. But I just don't believe he has any potential of being a contender one day.
Yeah, I agree.
No, he doesn't have the heart of a Tony Ferguson. That's for sure, man. You can see it. He gave up, man, in the fifth. He was looking okay in some sense. I mean, but just his will wasn't there, man.
And he killed my damn parlay. I gave you Umar and Mokaev, and then I was like, Gaziev, let's go. And then he lost, and it died. But congratulations going out to Ayman Zahabi, who I also called as he was a huge underdog last week, and I was like, no, Ayman's going to win that fight. Ayman's got that fight, and then he did. He won a unanimous decision over Javid Basharat last weekend, so congratulations to Montreal's own, the great
We told
Ayman
him to pick him.
Zahabi. Of course we picked Ayman Zahabi. I wasn't even picking him because I like him and he's around the city and everything. I picked him because I thought he was going to win, and then he did. Yep. So that was good. And also Umar Nurmagomedov.
Paid out well.
Yeah, it did pay out well. And Umar Nurmagomedov, a lot of people in Montreal must have made money last weekend, right, on Ayman. Everybody's betting on Ayman, and everybody's cashing in big time. It's good. Umar looks like a contender more and more. Every time you see him, you're like, yep, he's a dangerous fellow. And when are they going to give him a title shot? It's just a matter of time before that guy gets up to the championship, right? At 135 pounds, Umar's going to be tough.
Man, every time you look at him, you can see that Khabib in him. He looks like him. Like, it's scary, man.
17-0 now, 28 years old, out of Dagestan, last name Nurmagomedov. Let's go. Let's give him a top 10, top 5 opponent and see where we're at.
And you got to give credit to Bezcat, man, because he fought well, and that guy was one dangerous guy. Like, this guy is a serious, fighter in that division, no doubt about it. But the way, man, Umar, took control of that fight was scary, man.
Indeed.
He's
a bad man. Yeah, he's good, man. I want to see more. I would like to see, instead of, if Umar fights the winner of Pyotr Yan and Song Yadong, I'd be very happy.
Oh, my God.
You know what I'm saying? I would love that. I just want to see, can he beat these guys? And if he can beat these guys, then it's title shot time. Let's go. What are we waiting for?
I think
with Khabib's run, I feel like it's a lot like Umar's, where I felt like for years Khabib was just undefeated, and I was watching him just crush people and thinking, man, this guy should be champion. How come this guy hasn't got a title shot yet? And he beat RDA, and he just manhandled him, ragdolled him, and then RDA won a couple fights and then won the title at 155. And I'm like, guys, Khabib just beat the shit out of him. What are you doing? Khabib's the champion. The whole time Khabib was the man. And it just, it was slow to get to the top, and that's why he didn't have a lot of title defenses. But I feel like Umar is maybe the champion now. He's just uncrowned. I want to see. I need to see it. I feel that with Umar the same way I feel about Shavkat. Leon Edwards is going to fight Bilal Muhammad, and, it's whatever. But until you beat Shavkat at this point, I don't really believe that you're the top dog. To me, Shavkat is the guy, and he's an uncrowned champion. I think he's the world's number one at 170 pounds, and I think Umar may be world's number one at 135. I think Umar could beat O'Malley and Marlon Vera. I think you put Umar in there against O'Malley or Vera next weekend, and he smashes.
I mean, he should definitely get up in competition, who was it earlier? We said Saint-Denis. like Saint-Denis finally is getting a Dustin Poirier, while Umar deserves, I don't know who's the equivalent of Dustin Poirier, but he deserves somebody that's a real name in the division.
Henry Cejudo?
Yeah, maybe.
I guess he retired, though, I think.
Yeah, he's like...
But Peter Yan, I like that. The winner of Peter Yan.
And
Peter Yan is he's gonna beat Song Yadong. Like, I'm just gonna give you my pick right away. So he should fight Peter Yan.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great fight. Like, to me, that's what I'm doing. If I'm a UFC matchmaker, I'm not waiting around. I'm shooting him up to the top and saying, "Let's go." A Nurmagomedov is champion. You don't want that? That's marketable. People know Khabib. Plus, you'll know Umar.
Peter Yan, he's on a 3-fight losing streak, so he needs a win this weekend for sure. But he's not in the title picture right now. He would be 1-3 in his last 4 fights, so he needs more wins. And fighting Umar would make sense for him also.
Yeah, they probably are slowing the roll on Umar because Sean O'Malley is a very marketable champion, and if you throw Umar at him and then Umar's a champion, maybe not as marketable. You want to keep that sugar show running as long as possible if you're the UFC. When O'Malley's contract is up and he's up for renegotiation, they're going to say, yeah, we're going to give you Umar next. And, last fight on O'Malley's contract will be Umar, and then he'll lose, and then it'll be, terrible negotiating at that point for O'Malley. So I think...
Am I seeing smoke coming out of Fred's...
No, you're seeing things, AJ. I don't know what you're talking about, eh?
I'm like, what the hell, man?
Don't worry about it.
Something on fire by camera?
I think that's just vapor. Don't worry. Everything's fine. We've got Kevin Holland and Michael Venom Page. I'm picking Kevin Holland. I think Kevin Holland wins this fight.
What?
I think Michael Page came to the UFC too late. He's 36 years old. He hasn't really faced a guy to the level of Kevin Holland in a very long time. Kevin Holland's looking better and better at welterweight. He had a tough fight with Della Maddalena in his last one, but I think he's up for the challenge here. I've got Kevin Holland.
I agree, man. Michael Page, no offense, but he hasn't fought a lot of high-level competition. Like, I was checking earlier. I'm trying to remember, but his run in Bellator was excellent, man, but it was against Bellator-level talent. Like, who has he really defeated? Douglas Lima is a nice win. Who else? Paul Daly, fucking, 4 years ago. I mean... those guys, the rest of them, I don't know, man. I don't think it's the level of the opponents he's going to face in the UFC. And Kevin Holland he's a real fighter, man. Kevin Holland shows up. He might not be the best fighter. He might not be, the most skilled, the most athletic and all that. But he's the guy that shows up and gives you everything he has. And I expect him to show up tomorrow, Saturday, and win. Kevin Holland by decision. Dominating. Man, it's going to be tough. 30-27.
Ooh. Kevin Holland talks a lot sometimes, He might get caught up in the moment, start trying to do spinning kicks with MVP and get himself knocked out. Like, Kevin Holland does dumb shit.
He does dumb shit. Smart.
He doesn't always, though, Fred. He's a I don't know. I think he's going to win, but, I really don't trust him. I never trust Kevin Holland in a fight. It's hard to bet on him.
It depends which Kevin Holland comes into the octagon. That's the problem with him. It's hot or cold. I mean, lately he's been on the hot side, but the thing is that he's still unpredictable, in the rounds. And the thing is that MVP, man, 10 years in Bellator, and here he is in his UFC debut, man. This guy is very similar to Holland and very, almost the same fighting style like Stephen Thompson in a sense. It's going to be interesting. This is going to be a close fight. But I really think, man, that MVP, man, is going to, shine on Saturday, man. This guy had it in Bellator, and I think fighting against a guy like Kevin Holland, if Kevin is not on his game on Saturday, MVP is going to win this. It's going to be a close fight, but I think MVP is going to pull it off.
Kevin Holland loses
in Bellator, and he's going to prove it in the UFC.
Kevin Holland loses to top competition still. If you look at who he loses to, it's Kamzat, it's Maddalena, it's Stephen Thompson, Vettori. Those guys are legit fighters. So I think, I'm confident. Kevin Holland, I got him. Kevin Holland winning. And like you say, Dave, Venom Page, he's coming in a little old. Like, if we're going to call Dustin Poirier old, man, we got to do it here also.
Yeah. I think he's coming in a little too late to the UFC. You know, he spent a lot of time in Bellator. He's 36 now. I don't like it. How about Gilbert Burns and Jack Della Maddalena? Gilbert Burns is 37 years old. He's a plus 140 underdog. Jack Della Maddalena, 27 years old. And a minus 160 favorite. Jack Della Maddalena has won 16 straight fights. He's 16-2. He lost the first 2 in his pro career and then won 16 straight, including 6 now in a row in the UFC. 4 TKOs, 1 submission, but his last 2 fights have been split decision wins. Not as fun. But he's looked good. He's a solid contender out of Australia. Brown belt in jiu-jitsu.
Very good jiu-jitsu.
I'm going with Dorino. Gilbert
Me
Burns.
too.
Listen, man, let's just think about this. If it gets to the ground, you're talking about like an ADCC champion, man. Gilbert has it all. But, man, Maddalena's grappling is so high level, it's ridiculous. But the problem is not on the ground, in my opinion. It's the stand-up game. Because Maddalena, man, 11 KOs. He's 16-2, you know, in his MMA career. This guy gets 1 drop on Gilbert Burns. Gilbert is out. If Gilbert is not able to control this guy, and even on the ground, man, I think the top mount and the ground and pound is going to be a bit of a problem for Gilbert. I'm telling you, Jack, 10 years younger, Jack is jacked, and Jack from Australia, man, is going to make kangaroo meat out of Gilbert Burns on Saturday. There's a reason why this guy has 11 KOs. He's going to knock out Gilbert. I don't think Gilbert right now, you know, his peak, man, came. I don't think he has it to be able to stand up. If it was just a jiu-jitsu match, of course I'm going to give it to Dorino. No doubt about it. If this is a grappling match, I'm giving it to Dorino. The problem is that you got to get down to the ground. And if Jack throws those heavy power shots, it's going to be a bad night for Gilbert. There's going to be 12 KOs, and it's coming on Saturday.
All right, so AJ going with Jack. I'm going to go with Gilbert Burns.
Super jacked.
I'm going to go with Gilbert Burns. I think he's going to pull it off. He's a strong guy. He's durable.
He is.
I think he's going to pull off a decision victory. It'll be a
Look,
big
he's a dangerous
big
gatekeeper.
Win. Exactly.
That's what he is, dude.
Exactly. And it's the toughest fight of Jack Della Maddalena's career. You know, it's sink or swim, and I don't think he's going to be able to swim. All right. We've got Song Yadong taking on Petr Yan. Damn, man. And that's opening the pay-per-view. Petr Yan, just 31 years old.
Crazy.
But he has lost 4 of his last 5 now. Since winning the title, he lost 4 of 5. 1 disqualification to Aljamain, and then he had a fight against Corey Sandhagen that he won. But then he lost to Aljamain, he lost to Sean O'Malley, and then he lost to Merab Dvalishvili. However, you know, it was 2 split decision losses to O'Malley and Aljamain, and then a decision loss to Merab, who's, you know, one of the best in the world. Who, again, another contender at 135, who's probably next, right? I think Merab is next. And then maybe Merab is the best. Maybe it's not Umar. Like, maybe Merab and Umar is the fight of the future. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, there's so many good contenders at 135. You get so excited about Umar, you almost forget about Merab Dvalishvili, who's next, you know? Next, and could be unstoppable for the next several years, right? So good. Bantamweight is good.
If we're honest, let's remember when O'Malley fought and they were talking about Vera, most people were like, I'm not sure Vera's the guy that should be getting the title shot. Now, Vera ended up getting it because he has some history with O'Malley. But, yeah, guys like Merab are definitely in the picture, and yeah, Merab might be the next champion.
So many contenders. Such a crazy division. Song Yadong, I feel like he's been in the UFC for a while. He's only 26. He debuted in the UFC in 2017.
He's young, man.
What?
He's a young dong.
He's been in the UFC 6, almost 7 years. He's got a bunch of fights in the UFC, but he's only 26, so he entered the UFC when he was like 19, 20 years old. That's nuts. And now he's fighting Petr Yan. I don't think he's going to win this fight, though. I think Petr Yan's going to get this fight. 3-round decision. I'm going with Petr. I think the judges are finally going to give one to him.
Listen, man.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, man. Song Yadong, man, has won 2 straight, and he has won 5 of his last 6. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at Yan's last fight, man, he got schooled in the wrestling department. He didn't look great. He's not looking great. Like, there was at one point when Petr Yan came, and we were like, this guy is unstoppable. And lately, man, I've been like, he's become an average fighter, in my opinion, regardless of who he's fought. And the difference is that Song Yadong, man, if he mixes things up to Petr Yan, he's going to have a hard time, Petr Yan. And, like, he's a heavy favorite, Petr Yan. But Song Yadong, man, both striking,
no, he's not.
Both wrestling, you know, the way he's able to mix things up. The guy is very dangerous.
It's not
he's
a heavy favorite.
21-7.
It's minus 125. Song Yadong plus 105, the underdog. It's not a heavy favorite. I mean, Sean O'Malley is a heavy favorite, minus 275 over Chito Vera. He's the heaviest favorite on the main card. This is a tough card to pick because nobody's a big favorite. You know, you got Jack Della Maddalena, minus 160. Burns plus 140.
And I'm going to tell you, you know, the one thing with Song Yadong, man, the guy has a lot of experience for a young guy. The guy has like close to 29 like professional fights in MMA. Whereas you look at Petr Yan, he has like, what is he? He's 21 fights. I mean, look.
Yeah, but Petr Yan.
When you know who Petr Yan is, when you look at Petr Yan, you'll be like, oh man, yeah, this guy's unbelievable. But if you look at the last little while, dude, if anybody's on a roll, man, it's Song Yadong. And I'm going with Song Yadong. I'm going with the schlong of Song Yadong.
So, AJ, you said close to 29 pro fights, and I just have to check that because you can check how many fights. He has 30 pro fights.
Oh, 30. Okay, I'm sorry.
It was close, man.
I knew it was up there.
No, he was close, but it's just odd. He's got close to 29, pro fights. Like,
yeah, I thought it was. I'm just trying to remember where it was. 28, 29, 30.
When you called him out, I was expecting something like 18. You know,
7 fights.
No, he's 21 wins. Okay, 7 losses, 1 draw, 1 no contest. So if my math is correct, that's 30 29. Pro fights. Right. So. Close enough, AJ. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I knew it was up there. Regardless to say is that's a lot of fights for a very young athlete, man. And that's the thing. He has a lot of experience for a young age, and he's just climbing into the beginning of the peak. That's where I find it very dangerous. And Petr Yan, man, the thing is that once he gets overwhelmed, you can see him like stepping back. He skips a beat. And that's what concerns me with Petr. I would have never said that in the beginning of his career. I'm like, holy shit, this guy's unstoppable, like we all said. But now, I'm telling you, I think I'm going to go with the underdog with Song Yadong at 26 years old.
Okay. AJ's going with Yadong once again. AJ's always going with Yadong. Now, some prelim.
You like the schlong.
Some prelim fights that are pretty solid, too. You got Jailton Almeida taking on Curtis Blades.
Oof, that's crazy.
I think Jailton is the one to pick there. Jailton minus 115. Blades minus 105, basically a pick'em fight. I've been very impressed with Jailton. Big, strong guy.
Oh, my God. Scary,
Blades got the wrestling, though. I don't know. It should be It should be an interesting fight.
Yeah, black belt jiu-jitsu for Almeida as well, Freddie. And his grappling is pretty solid. It's going to be an interesting fight. But Jailton, man, he's impressive. Every time I see him, I think of, like, Jacare with a mix of, like, Balfour and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's a good fight. I can see Curtis Blades pulling it off, though. Caitlin Chukagian taking on Macy Barber on the prelims as well.
Whew, what a good man. That's a
Rafael Dos Anjos against Mateusz Gamrot. It's just a TV prelim fight. What?
It's crazy. RDA, man. Is that
Pedro
insane?
Munoz taking on Kyler Phillips. Jan Kutalaba against Philip Lins. I mean, we've got some very good fights on this card. Let's get to some parlays. I have a parlay ready for you. So we're going to start with Team Dave for UFC 299. I'm going to give you a couple single bets as well because I think a parlay and some single bets worth it for this card here, UFC 299. So let's start off with the Team Dave parlay. Uh-oh. It's gone. It's gone. Oh, my God. It disappeared. Well, let's do it together, shall we?
Your dong is gone?
No, my dong is still firmly in place, but my parlay
that's
disappeared.
a good sign.
So I'm going with Benoit Saint-Denis, Kevin Holland.
Oui.
And I'm going to throw on my main man, the Gamrot, Mateusz Gamrot, who I always believe in because he's fantastic, right? The Gamrot. At minus 425. He's a big favorite to beat RDA, and I'm with that. Gamrot is fantastic.
Wow, RDA, man, he's like,
he's up there.
He's up there, dude. You know, you wouldn't have said that like 10 years ago.
No, but he's the same. He's not quite the same RDA he was 10 years ago. So Benoit Saint-Denis, Kevin Holland, and Mateusz Gamrot is a 3-fight parlay. 20 gets you 63 over at bet99.com. That is a Team Dave parlay. BSD, Gamrot, and Kevin Holland. Freddie, what do you got for me? What do you think?
I got
spit it out, Freddie.
Petar Yan. I got
Petar.
Gilbert.
Who's Petar?
Well, as I've told you before, I used to work with a guy. I think he was from Bulgaria, and he spelled his name like that, and he would tell me his name was Petars.
Oh, well, he says Piotr. I think they say Piotr.
I know.
Piotr.
I know.
Anyways,
but I'll call him Petar, man.
So
Just give me my
Peter
AJ
Yan.
moment.
Oh, Peter Yan. Peter Yans.
Petey.
You got Peter Yans. What else you got?
So I got Petey. I got Gilbert with the great hair.
Oh yeah,
man, that guy's got incredible hair, man. And
Yep.
I'm gonna complete the parlay with Kevin Holland because Michael Page, a little too late. I'm sorry. So that's my parlay.
That is a sweet parlay from Team Fred. I mean, this is something to go with here. This is nice. Piotr Yan minus 125, Gilbert Burns plus 140, and then Kevin Holland minus 135. It's a plus 652 parlay. 20 gets you 150 over at bet99.ringsidereport.net.
Nice.
Sign up with us at our link, bet99.ringsidereport.net. So that is a nice return there on the Team Fred parlay of Piotr Yan, Gilbert Burns, and Kevin Holland. AJ, you're on the clock.
Listen, man, I wasn't going to go with the 5-fight parlay, but because it's a pay-per-view and I'm very confident that it's going to come out, even though it's a hard card to bet on.
Yep.
We were doing well last week. We came close to closing in that parlay, but then we got screwed in the end. But I'm starting off, man, right off the bat with the underdog. I believe that Yadong is going to Shalong, Peter or Yan. And I feel for Yan, man. Great fighter, but I don't think he's going to have it in him.
Okay.
To hold back the Yadong.
I understand.
Then I'm going with Super Jack. Man, don't underestimate Super Jack. Like his power band behind those fists are ridiculous. Nothing wrong with Super Jack. And then you know what? Venom is going to bite the hell out of Holland, man. Holland is going down. Tulips and all. You know?
Okay.
What's better than roses on a piano? Tulips on an organ. But anyways.
Careful with that. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Anyways, right off the bat, I'm going to go to Benoit Saint-Denis.
Roses really.
How can you go wrong, man? You know, and I feel for Freddie. And you know what, Freddie? I really want Dustin Poirier to win. In my heart, man, I want Dustin to win. He's been always like, listen, man, this guy's a legend. He's a fighting legend. But Benoit Saint-Denis is at a different level of today's type of MMA fighter. It's scary. And then for sure, Sean O'Malley, man. You know, I think the first fight he was injured. He had a couple of illnesses going into that fight, and that low kick that took his leg out was like nasty because he already had an injury on it. So somebody in the training camp knew that this guy was injured, and they took advantage of it. So Cheeto had a good first run, but I think Sean O'Malley is going to show who's like the king of the hill here.
Wow. So you're doing a 5-fight parlay. It's a classic
5-fight tonight,
UFC pay-per-view 5-fight parlay from your main man, AJ DeLessio. It's Team AJ. Angelo was laughing at you already. I thought that was funny. Shout out Angelo in the chat. I saw Doug Hepburn as well. Johnny North. Shout out to the boys in the chat.
Bet it, Angelo. You're going to win.
Song Yadong, plus 105. Jack Della, minus 160. Kevin Holland, minus 135. BSD, minus 215. And Sean O'Malley, Minus 275. It's a 5-fight parlay. At plus 1059, 20 gets you 231.71. It's not bad. I mean, honestly, this card is difficult to predict, and I could see this parlay playing out. I could see a variety of parlays playing out for this pay-per-view.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's not outrageous, Fred. His picks are not crazy this week, right? Like, it's like, yeah, okay, makes sense. I could see it. I may disagree with a couple, but it's like, yeah, all right.
It's like,
I mean, I'd
look.
be surprised that his dong would win, but
yeah.
But why, Freddie? He's 5-6, man. You know, he's on a 2-fight winning streak. I mean, it's not like Jan is doing really great lately, man.
AJ, you should know, Yadong never wins.
Depending if it's sponsored by the Blue Pill. I can't mention the name.
Wow. You having trouble there, eh? Well, you are quite old, so I guess things start to slip. That's too bad, AJ. Sorry about that.
Talk about old, man.
Let's talk about Mike Tyson. Bad decisions with your dong.
Yeah, that's true, Freddie. You're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right.
How many more decisions are we going to make? How many more Song Yadong jokes are we going to make here?
Stay protected.
Oh, my God. Okay. So I am taking
talk about old, man.
I'm taking pictures of the parlays here, AJ, and I'm sending them over to the group chat now. So I'm sending
Our creative department team is standing by, man.
I'm sending
TR Mark is there.
Jake
I think
Paul,
Muscle Marco is online.
In the meantime,
yeah.
Come on, AJ, tell us why Jake Paul's gonna win.
Okay, so Jake Paul and Mike Tyson apparently are doing a boxing match against each other, and it's going to be on Netflix on July 20th. They just announced this today. It's ridiculous.
Listen, man, there's a lot of hype already in this. It's like trending. Like everywhere you look, it's like Jake Paul, Mike Tyson.
People thought, is this a joke? I was like, is it April 1st yet? No, it's still March. I thought it was an April Fool's joke. I honestly thought it was some sort of prank or somebody on Twitter that was not actually Jake Paul putting it out there. Like, you know how sometimes you see a Twitter and it's like Jake Paul, but the A is like, there's like an underscore after the Jake Paul or something or whatever, and it's not actually Jake Paul. It just looks like his account. I thought it was something like that people fell for, but that's not what happened. It was actually Jake Paul announcing that him and Mike Tyson are doing a boxing match against each other, which is ridiculous.
Well,
you know what's not ridiculous? Francis Ngannou and Anthony Joshua was like tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah.
5 p.m.
Yeah, tomorrow at 5 p.m. Let's go, Francis Ngannou. Let's
Francis
go.
Is
Show
there,
these
man, but that's the
boxing
real
guys.
Deal.
Show them. Did you see what he said to Tyson Fury?
Yeah, that was crazy, man. Can you put it up?
That?
Can you post that?
Yeah, I think I can. I think so.
People want to hear that because it was
that
intense.
was amazing. I think I could put that out.
He took a page out of the McGregor book.
Oh yeah, but he can back up those words, man.
Yeah, I think
it's the truth.
I'll play the audio. I don't think I could actually play the video here. I'm going to play the audio Super chat. So this was in Saudi Arabia. They're doing a press conference for Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. Not Tyson Fury. Sorry. Francis Ngannou, right? And and Tyson Fury is in the front row talking shit to Francis. And Francis replies, and let me play for you. I believe I have this here. Let me play what Francis says, which is just great.
Your only chance is in the ring, in the boxing ring with the boxing rules. When you step off of that ring, you better stay 5 meters away before I start your shit. Because if I lose it, you're going to have a really bad time, my friend. So respect the fact that boxing is protecting us, and the rules of boxing is protecting us. Because out of that, without that, you are nothing in front of me. I beat you every day, twice on Sunday.
The boxing rules are protecting you. Without them, you are nothing in front of me. I beat you every day, twice on Sunday. Stop him when he's telling lies. Stop the champ when he's telling lies. All truth.
All truth, man. It's crazy, eh?
Telling Tyson Fury to his face.
Realize, man.
You imagine Tyson Fury hearing this? Like, what the? I wonder what he thinks. Like, How does he feel? Does he know that he's right? Does he think that he's wrong? What's the, does he think, if I fought him for real, I would just do ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, and it would be fine. It's like, no, dude, you would get smashed to pieces because there's a lot of fighting that is in your blind spot of combat. If you're a pro boxer and you only know pro boxing, there's a ton of fighting skills and fighting things that you are completely blind to that you are susceptible to in an actual one-on-one, man-on-man fight. And in MMA, you are more aware of these things. Fury, he's very limited. In MMA, there's a bigger scope. There are still some things that you can't do in MMA that you can do in a wild street fight or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? Like, what Francis is saying is perfectly true, and it's fantastic that he's saying it to Tyson Fury's face, and he's telling the whole boxing world, you guys are being protected by boxing. I could beat you all up in a real fight. It's great.
Yeah,
listen,
but
man, it's
John Jones
it's the 8 steps.
John Jones would beat them twice on Sunday, both of them.
Yeah. John Jones would beat them all. He beat them all.
I don't know about that right now.
John Jones fat beats
John
everybody.
Jones is not looking.
John Jones
John
fat
Jones is
beats
not
everybody.
looking that.
John Jones on coke, fat beats everybody.
Fat Jones.
Fat, coked out John Jones still beats everybody, AJ.
Listen, I agree with
kidding?
you to some extent.
He doesn't
right
train.
Now,
he doesn't train. He smokes weed. He does coke. He goes to strip clubs and he drinks.
People
and then he wins world championships on the weekend because, whatever. It's how he pays for his other shit that he wants to do. John Jones can do whatever the hell he wants and still beat up everybody, AJ. And I know this from experience, having watched this man's career for the past, feels like 15, 20 years. Like, I don't understand how long he's been on top, but he has been because he's the greatest professional combat sports athlete of all time by a very wide margin. He would destroy everybody. John Jones is the greatest. I don't care what you
underestimate
think. John Jones now because he's shut up, AJ. You thought
underestimate him.
Gustafsson would beat him the second time around. You always pick against John Jones. I don't give a fuck what you say about John Jones because you're wrong. You're constantly wrong about the guy. Fat, coked out Jones, even at probably 50, is still beating everybody in the UFC. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man,
I don't think he's got an expiration date.
I want to see it.
I think Father Time, he fucking does coke with Father Time, and he's like, whatever, let's go.
And he takes pills for his dong.
Yeah, he does, that's why he fails tests for steroids, because he took drugstore penis pills. Okay? The guy is next level. Next level. There is no other. Not even anybody close to him. So fucking
see, Song Yadong should like open a business of selling Yadong pills. You sell them like that'd be a good brand.
I mean, it would, but I think if your last name is Yadong and you're hearing everybody making jokes about you, maybe you want to kind of avoid doing penis things because then it's like,
yeah, but if it's bringing you like a couple $100 million a year, I'm sure he'll think twice.
Sing a song to Yadong, singing penises, some sort of penis puppet show where they sing. Song Yadong.
I'm just saying dick pills, man.
Oh,
Yadong pills.
Sorry, I was thinking about a penis puppet show with like
sell them in all the in all the 7-Elevens in the U.S. and all that, man.
Yeah. Oof. Okay.
Hundreds of millions of dollars, Fred.
They got a lot of weird shit in their convenience
Forget
stores.
about Red Bull.
You know, like they're depanneurs. They've got like penis pills and steroids and caffeine pills and all sorts of. We got nothing. We got slushes here. You know what I mean? We got nothing.
Guns. Yeah.
Yeah, they got all. They got everything. It's a one-stop shop for like weird shit at their convenience stores. It seems like we got nothing like that here. Nothing.
We got the Slurpees. We got
that's all.
Twinkies.
We don't even have Slurpees. It's not a Slurpee. It's a slush or whatever.
Slushies. Yeah, that's what they're called.
What's the difference?
A slush is not as sweet as a slosh.
Then he's got a dog.
I like puppy slush, man. Puppy slush is like the classic, man.
It's all right. I think Dairy Queen has a superior slush. The best slush is the icy that they have in the States. The icy is the best brand of slush by far.
I mean, the
Icy.
Tim Hortons frozen lemonade is very good also.
The icy Coke slush is the best slush I've ever had in my life. It's unbelievable. I'd have one right now. All right. So Mike Tyson's going to fight Jake Paul, apparently. I think it's real dumb. It's going to happen on Netflix, which is crazy, so I'm definitely going to watch it because I have Netflix, and why not? July 20th, I think Jake Paul will win, and people will be sad, but you really shouldn't be because Mike Tyson's like 58 years old, so come on.
57.
Whatever.
Take it easy.
Is this a real fight, or is it like an exhibition?
Look, it's probably going to be an exhibition fight because if it's real, let's pull it back a bit. Tyson fought 19 years ago, and that was his last loss to Kevin McBride back in 2005.
He looked good against Roy Jones Jr., man. He looked great.
He did look good against Roy Jones. And it was still an exhibition fight.
Roy Jones, man. He destroyed Roy Jones.
For a man his age.
Well,
yeah,
and
but
he had
the other guy's not a professional, man. The other guy's a jabroni that lost to Tommy Fury or whatever his name is, man.
Oh, no. Are you picking Tyson to beat Jake Paul?
Of course, man. I'd be so surprised if he doesn't win. Come on, man.
Yeah, man.
Of course,
okay, see,
man. Come on, man.
Here's the generations here, guys. This is what's happening, okay? You and I feel this when it's like Anderson Silva. Of course Anderson Silva's going to win. He's Anderson Silva. He can't be beat.
No, Tyson's a boxer.
You guys still have this image of Mike Tyson as a killer.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson in my mind, my whole life is not a killer. Is not a killer.
Oh.
He's goofy. He's on drugs. He's in jail.
No.
He's not a fighter.
Anymore.
He would make John Jones look like a school child, man. Mike Tyson was the baddest man on the planet, the most feared guy you can ever get.
I don't know
when he
about
would
that
walk
John
into
Jones
the ring,
things,
he would win just by looking
John
at you.
Jones destroys peak Mike Tyson. How about that?
Of course.
Never.
Destroys him.
Well, in an MMA fight, yeah.
In anything.
Sure. But Tyson
but
admitted that himself.
Okay, let me put it
Tyson
this way,
admitted that
man.
himself.
Like, this is still Mike Tyson's life, like boxing, man.
Yep.
So like I can't
He's
go
an
and
animal.
play like a 65-year-old former NBA guy would beat me in a basketball game the same way that Tyson's gonna beat Jake Paul, man. Like it won't even be close, man. I can't believe you're picking Jake Paul, man. I think it's gonna be a complete blowout, and fucking Mike Tyson's gonna be the guy to end that Jake Paul hype train. He's gonna knock him out so bad.
Listen, man, he does his peekaboo, Freddy. He comes in with his peekaboo style and pulls that fast 1, 2, 3, boom, uppercut.
You go watch
He might
that Roy
kill the
Jones
guy.
fight. He looked good, man. He looked better than
And
any
you
of
know
the
what,
Jake
Freddie?
Paul fight.
Freddie, on the
Jake
Roy
Paul
Jones fight as well, he
beat-
wasn't allowed to do certain things. Let's not
Holy
forget that, guys.
shit.
He wasn't allowed to do his uppercuts. He wasn't allowed to throw some big, heavy, like, rights. They were supposed to be controlled punches in some sense. But if Mike Tyson is unleashed, let's not forget who this guy is. Thank God he's on weed now, because if Tyson decides not to go on weed for a couple of weeks, and you're going to be facing a guy who's 57 years old and still will bite your fucking ear off and probably knock you off and like he used to say, fuck you.
You guys are
Straight up.
fucking nuts,
You
man.
don't forget
You
about the
guys are
baddest man on the
crazy.
planet.
I'm telling you,
No,
you
but
guys
Freddie's
are
got a
fucking
point.
nuts. I can't believe this.
Tyson is going to...
This is amazing.
You got to be careful, man.
This is the
This
best.
is his
I'm
baby, man.
shocked that you guys are so
I'm
adamant.
shocked.
This is
I'm shocked that
bananas. Okay, hang on.
Jake
hang
Paul-
on.
That's
So
not
when's-
happening. It's not
When's the
going to
last
happen.
time Mike Tyson fought for like a championship? Fought like a
19
championship
years
level
ago.
fighter.
Who
How many?
cares?
Wow,
How many?
he fought...
How many?
He fought Kevin McBride 19 years ago and he
Okay.
lost. That was
Okay.
He
it.
fought Roy Jones 3 years ago.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count. I'm talking about
It
real
does.
competition against a real fighter
mean,
who's
Jake
really
Paul
doing
ain't
it in
real
his prime. Okay?
competition.
Okay,
That
listen.
would be back in 2002 against Lennox Lewis.
Hang on, I'm making a point here, guys. So Mike Tyson hasn't faced like real competition and like real championship level shit in like say 19, 20 years. Okay? Nate Diaz took Leon Edwards, the current welterweight champion, to the limit in a 5-round fight and nearly finished him in the 5th. Then 2 years later, got
Different
dropped
sport.
by Jake Paul and lost a unanimous decision.
Different
2 years
sport.
removed from taking the current champion of the UFC
Okay.
to the limit.
Different sport, okay? And as soon as Jake Paul fought anybody with a little bit of boxing, Tommy Fury, Jake Paul got schooled. And Mike Tyson would beat Tommy Fury and Jake Paul on the same day. Twice on Sunday,
Fury
both
is
of them.
24 years old. Like, no, Fred.
Yeah.
Listen, man.
No.
Yeah.
Let's do this all night. No. This is fucking great.
You know what, man?
I can't believe this. This is fucking great. Well, we got to see the fight now. We got to do a watch-along.
Man.
This is going to be massive. Holy shit. When Jake
and
Paul
let's not forget one thing.
beats the shit out of Mike Tyson, I am going to laugh my fucking ass off. Jake Paul,
it's not gonna happen.
Let's go, Jake
Dave,
Paul.
It's not happening.
I'll laugh also because Mike
listen,
Tyson
man,
will be biting off some ears if
I
that
hope
happens.
he does.
But it won't happen,
I hope he
man.
murders him.
Or some schlong, you know? But I'm going to tell you this, Dave. What I give credit to is Jake Paul. No matter what, Jake Paul is always relevant, man. He's able to bring eyes to his brand all the time. And you know what? When people were laughing at me way back when I said Jake Paul was going to change the face of sports, I meant it. Here we are in 2024 talking about Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul. Would you have believed that, Freddie, back like 20 years ago? You know what I'm saying? When Tyson was even like past his prime in some sense.
It's a freak show fight, but Tyson's still a real boxer, man.
No, he's not.
Jake Paul,
he's a freak show.
He's 9-1, man.
No, he's a
he's
real
doing pretty
boxer,
good,
man.
No, he's not. If he was still a real boxer, he'd be fighting Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou.
Yeah, but he's 57
but he's not.
years old, dude.
It's like riding a bike, man. You don't forget how to do it, man. And Tyson's been boxing his whole life.
You get slower. You get more prone to injury.
Listen, man, the only way you're going to beat Tyson is if Tyson smokes.
You're not very quick if you're like spending your childhood on the Disney Channel, man. Tyson fucking grew up boxing, man.
Jake
man.
Jake Paul.
Man, if it wasn't for Gus D'Amato, man.
Jake Paul is a guy that decided to pick up boxing in his adult years.
Who trains all the time and is 27 years old. He's 30 years younger than his opponent. 30 years, man.
How old was George Foreman when he beat Michael Moorer, man?
I don't know. It was before I was born,
he was 52,
probably.
I think.
I don't know when it happened. I don't know. Guys, I just want to bring some clarity to this discussion. Bet99.com has betting odds on this fight. Jake Paul, minus 290 the favorite. Mike Tyson, plus 215 the underdog. So, yeah. Makes sense to me. Bet on Mike Tyson, guys. Bet on him.
Listen, man,
you can right now. Go for it.
Man, of course I'm putting it on Mike Tyson. But I'm going to tell you something. Mike Tyson, man. Wow. Dave, I know you didn't grow up in that era to see him. But Mike Tyson was so he would fight anybody. He fought Mitch Green. I remember that. What year was that? That was 1988. Was it 1988? What fucking year was that? Holy shit. That long ago? 1986, even worse.
What year?
He fought Mitch Green.
1986. AJ, listen to me, man. I'm old now, okay? I'm like an old guy. I'm almost 40, dude, okay? I got 2 kids. I'm old. I got gray hairs and shit, okay? 1986, I was not even 1 at that point. I was a baby, okay? I was younger than my youngest daughter, who's tiny. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Come on, bro. Let's get
bro,
it straight.
He was fighting Mitch Green,
long ago,
and even
Mike
fought
Tyson
him in a
was
street
relevant.
fight.
And this is why I have the vision of Mike Tyson, because when Mike Tyson was the scariest man on the planet, I was like a baby. And then when Mike Tyson, when I became aware of Mike Tyson, he bit Holyfield's ear and went crazy.
Yeah.
He was Drederick Tatum on The Simpsons. That's who Mike Tyson is. He's the cartoon
But that's who he is.
Drederick Tatum on The Simpsons. And he's just kind of a funny freak show character who's on The Simpsons.
He's not a freak show, dude. He's Mike Tyson. He might play those parts in Hangover and all that kind of shit.
Exactly. All that stuff has happened already. The face tattoo, everything. He's not a fighter anymore.
Oh, yeah? Listen, man, this guy is nothing but a fighter. He's just a guy that's more refined today because of his experience. But you go up to Mike Tyson and say, let's go, dude. Let's go toe-to-toe. He could be 80 years old, just like Helio Gracie in jiu-jitsu, who would roll with any 20-year-old and tap them out. Mike Tyson at 80,
no, he wouldn't.
I would still be careful because he
Not
can
any
fuck you up.
20-year-old.
He's 57.
No. I mean, yeah,
yes,
he's 57.
Man. I'm telling you.
Like,
listen,
no.
I'm going to tell you this.
You tell me Helio Gracie would roll with any 20-year-old in his 80s and he'd tap them. No, he wouldn't. I'm sure there were some 20-year-olds that were some purple belts, brown belts that would tap him because he was 80.
But that was,
bro.
Listen, he was. But listen, this is real. Mike Tyson, okay, at 57 years old, if it's a real fight, man, with no limitations on how you throw a punch or how what kind of gloves, if it's a real fight going straight down on Mike Tyson, and he's in good shape, man.
I'm so happy about this.
Have you seen his training videos lately?
This is great.
This guy, before this whole Jake Paul fight, this guy is Jake like, Paul. Oh my God, it would be sick. It would be. I would be scared. Listen, Jake Paul, I got to give him credit. I love him. He's done great. He's won his last fight. He won it really well in that first round.
Yeah.
But Jake Paul knows how to bring attention to himself. But let's be honest. I think there's going to be a lot of rules and regulations to make this an exhibition fight. But if this is going to be a real fight, Mike Tyson is Mike Tyson for a reason, man.
Well,
Iron Mike.
I have never been so happy to disagree with you, AJ. This is making me happy to no end. I think it's so exciting when you guys see things so one way, both of you. I'm surprised that you both see it this way, and I'm seeing it completely the other way. And then we just, I didn't know that you guys were so adamantly picking Mike Tyson, and it's shocking to me. And it's very exciting because I think the fight is going to happen, and now I want to see it because my buddies over here think that Mike Tyson is still in his glory days. And it's 1986 all over again.
Let me give you an argument. If in, say, 20 years from now or whatever, 30 years from now, John Jones is still around and he's like in good shape. But
oh, yeah, he'll beat everybody, but that's different.
Well, there you go. So that's how we feel about Mike Tyson because we've seen Mike Tyson
I'll tell you the difference.
At his most raw
I'll tell you
form.
the difference. Here's the difference.
Super chat.
Here's the difference. John Jones, no matter what happens, will never go to prison. And prison broke Mike Tyson. He was never the same.
People were so afraid of Mike in prison, it was ridiculous.
But he was never the same. When he came out of prison, his career was like, kind of.
Yeah, but he was from that era when he was a teenager anyways, man.
Like,
if it wasn't for Gus D'Amato, he would have been in jail most of his life.
Child star these days. Okay, when John Jones is going to be 65, he would beat up any Disney child star from today. Like, I have no clue who they are, man, but John Jones beats all of them today and in 20 years.
This hypothetical Disney child stars, Fred. What are you talking about? It's just nonsense.
Well,
what if Mikey
Musumeci
was a Disney child star? You know what I mean? Come on. Let's be real. Could happen. Okay. We've got super chats that we got to address here. Patrick C. Hamilton dropping the 777. He says, I may go with AJ and have a single O'Malley bet. So he may be going with the Team AJ parlay, which is nice, man. Patrick going with you, and he's going to solo bet on O'Malley. I think O'Malley is a solid call.
But I like AJ pick Vera.
No, AJ picked O'Malley.
Oh, he picked O'Malley.
Yeah, we all picked O'Malley. Yeah. I also like Joanne Wood in the opening fight, plus 190, the underdog. I think that's a good bet right there. That's a good solo bet. Joanne Wood, plus 190. I think she beats Marina Moroz in the opener. Opening fight, women's MMA, usually some upsets there. I've been very successful, like first fight of the night, second fight of the night, women's MMA fight. Underdog is usually coming through on that. And I like Joanne Wood, who used to be Joanne Calderwood, but then she married a guy whose last name is Wood, so now she's just Joanne Wood. It's pretty fun.
She lost the Calder, and
she lost the Calder, now she's just Wood. And another super chat from Doug Hepburn says, Sting is older than Tyson, and he won. 2024 year of you still got it.
It's true, man. I mean, it is true.
Sting,
and since we're talking about this, then can I
retaining the AEW Tag Team Championship with Darby Allin over the weekend in his last match ever. We salute you, Steve Borden, the Stinger.
Great Sting, man. Great career. I just wanted to say, man, those AEW, man, that Darby Allin going through that glass, man, they're going to injure somebody one day, man. That's a little crazy.
Injure who? Like themselves?
crowd. Somebody,
the crowd.
man.
There was some glass flying into the crowd, right? That's kind of dangerous. It's not good. Cool spot, though. Good match,
Yeah.
Darby does that kind of stuff. I mean, I think they warned the front row of AEW fans, like, shit might happen, so be careful. And, like, AEW is kind of like a big indie promotion, where if you go to an indie promotion and you're at, like, a death match, you may get blood on you, you may get shards of glass, and that's kind of part of the experience. But it's not like that when you go to WWE. And with AEW, they kind of operate like a big indie fed, but they're also like kind of like a mini WWE. So it's hard, right? They're kind of on the line of like, yeah, we do indie-style stuff and indie-style crowds, so it's fine. But in a big arena and a big setting, when you're like a billion-dollar company or whatever, the guy who owns it is worth $1 billion. You could get sued. I mean, you're open for lawsuits, right? So it's not great. It's not great. Doug Hepburn says, "Cry me a river, Fred. Real glass. Cry me a river." It was a joke. It's a Jungle Boy.
I don't know. Not a big fan of that type of wrestling, man. I'll be Bret Hart here.
Fred Cornette over here.
Saying.
What's up with the comment from
without the same fetishes?
Oh, AJ, yeah. Did you not see that thing on Benoit Saint-Denis' head?
No, let me see it.
Yeah,
I'll tell you right away, man. Damn, why'd you tell me this before?
First episode of The Embedded.
What? Tell me he doesn't have staff. I just read something with Cran. You said a pimple?
Yeah,
is it a pimple or is it like a
you're gonna say it's staff.
Coconut?
You're 100% gonna say it's staff. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, let me see. I'll tell you right away.
I mean,
is it? What? Damn it! It's staff.
But wait.
Yep, staff 100%.
He always says any pimple is staff, but like
no, it's staff because it's caved in. You see how it caved in there?
Yeah.
He's on antibiotics, man. Jesus. Yeah. Look, I'm still gonna give the edge to BSD. Yeah, it's staff. It's staff. Guaranteed.
Yeah, but you say everybody has staff. Like every fighter that walks into the cage, you're like staff.
Listen. Oh yeah. When you wrestle and you grapple enough, man, you're getting staff. But that there, just because of the way it's formed, it's staff. He probably has already been on antibiotics. It's at the end of it because it's dried up, which is a good sign. But still, man, how much did it take away from his training camp? I don't know, but I'll tell you something. It's right at the top of the head, so he couldn't be doing a lot of rolling. That's the problem.
Maybe,
couldn't be putting
maybe
his
not.
Forehead down on the mat.
You never know.
Jeez.
You never know. Maybe it just happened. We'll see. Fights coming up Saturday night. We're going to do the watch along 10 p.m. Eastern time when the pay-per-view starts. We will start the show here on the Ringside Report Network. I will be back here tomorrow night with Johnny North for Wrestling Uncensored, and Johnny tells me that they have a disclaimer for the crowd. Shit might happen to you, so deal with it.
Again, I just don't like that type of wrestling. I'm gonna be the Bret Hart that says like that's not real wrestling, man.
You don't like big bumps?
I don't mind the bump as much as the glass. The glass is too much.
No glass.
Go through a table.
So table's fine. Glass is where you draw the line. What about thumbtacks? Are you okay with thumbtacks?
I don't like thumbtacks that much.
You don't like thumbtacks? I enjoy thumbtacks. I like when I see thumbtacks because I know that hurts. It's good. It's a good effect. It works. I like thumbtacks.
I hate thumbtacks too.
I like hardcore wrestling a little bit, Fred. I'm not like a big deathmatch guy. I don't like when they grab a cheese grater and start, I don't like that too much. Like, that's kind of like, all right, it's too much. But the thumbtacks, like a good Mick Foley match where he's doing thumbtacks and barbed wire baseball bats and flaming tables. I like that. You don't like that? Mick Foley?
Flaming tables ain't too bad, but anything that pierces your skin, I'm not too crazy.
Oh, I didn't know that. I like it.
Listen, I got hit by a thumbtack once in high school. Like, I sat on one because some bully was trying to have a good time. And I'm telling you, man, I hate thumbtacks. And he hated it more after where I put it. But I'll tell you, man, I'm with Freddie on that. It hurts. Well, that shit hurts.
We should choke slam you into a bed of thumbtacks, brother.
Oof. No, it brings just
and like
bad,
you see the wrestlers that they get them pulled out afterwards. It's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah,
I gotta give it to them, man.
It's gruesome. No.
Yeah. Hey, man, it's a rough business. That's why we love them, because they're fucking warriors. Anybody that says otherwise doesn't really understand what these people go through.
It's a gimmick.
It's a gimmick. It fucking hurts Fred his thumbtacks.
RVD doesn't need thumbtacks. Bret Hart doesn't need thumbtacks.
I mean, RVD did need to kick a chair in your face. He threw a chair at you, and then he spin kicked it right in your face.
Like I say, the chair doesn't pierce your skin, man. I got issue with glass. I got issue with thumbtacks. Not a big fan.
Fred, how do you think they generate blood in wrestling? When the guys are bleeding
Not a
from their
big fan of
foreheads?
blading either. Not a big fan of blading.
Okay. All right. Well, we've understood that Fred likes classic, good family-style wrestling.
Somebody bled on me today at jiu-jitsu, so I might just have PTSD right now.
What?
Yee, damn.
It's minor blood, man. But yeah, I gotta go clean my rash guard, which makes me
yuck.
think.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, dude.
Ugh.
I think it's a very, very good idea.
I don't like that.
And put some like freaking tea tree oil in there as well. Hey, Fred. Sorry, Dave. I was gonna say.
What?
What's happening with the Nasty Boys, man?
I don't know. We'll talk about wrestling more tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Wrestling Uncensored, right here on the Ringside Report Network. Shout out to Doug Hepburn, Angelo Contagonis, Patrick C. Hamilton, and all the members keeping the Ringside Report Network going. We appreciate you very much. And big shout out to Patrick and Doug Hepburn out in Kingston, Ontario. You're the Super Chat leader tonight. Shout out to Doug and Nick out in Kingston. Hope you guys join us on Saturday. Great to see you here in the chat live. And Patrick as well. Good to see you, Patrick, out in Regina, Saskatchewan. And, of course, our boy Angelo out in Laval. Says, shut up, AJ.
Angelo.
I agree. Shut up, AJ.
Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word. Please share this episode on whichever social media platform you use. Add a comment below and consider reviewing us on Apple Podcasts. We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.com.